Star Wars fans, a new trailer for The Mandalorian Season 3 just dropped, and oh my goodness. If you weren't excited for The Mandalorian Season 3 just yet, watch this trailer. What's up, guys? It's Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars here. Today we're breaking down this brand new trailer for The Mandalorian Season 3. This got me so extremely hyped, as you can tell, because I just watched it, and now I'm breaking it down. So before I lose my mind, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So it starts off on this weird planet. We don't actually know what it is, and Din Djarin himself is talking, and he says, our people are scattered like stars in the galaxy. And you see a ton of Mandalorian in this trailer. I mean, throughout the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian show, you've only seen a handful, at most 5 or 6 on screen at the same time. And in this trailer alone, you see way more than that. What are we? What do we stand for? This is still Din Djarin talking. Lucasfilm LTD. The N1 starfighter going through hyperspace. I mean, it doesn't get much cooler than this. Grogu and Din going through hyperspace. Oh wait, what did he just say? We missed it. Being a Mandalorian is not just learning how to fight. So this third season, as season 2 was him trying to find a Jedi to help Grogu, this is about him being a Mandalorian and what it is to be a Mandalorian. Because we know he's taken off his helmet a few times and that's against his creed, so he has to go back. Grogu's in the cockpit now because he's awesome. And he said, you also have to know how to navigate the galaxy. Not just fight, you have to know how to navigate the galaxy. Then he shows up on Navarro. Now, Navarro's looking a lot nicer nowadays, to say the least. He's walking down the street. You see, this is and then you see Greef Karga, and he's clearly got some type of raise. Maybe he's like the mayor of the town. Who knows? He's clearly got some nicer clothes on, and Navarro's clearly thriving nowadays. And this looks like it is an IG-88 statue right here, the leg of one at least. You got baby Grogu over there. And then you see him flying through what seems to be a storm. I think this is him landing on Mandalore, because Mandalore as a planet seems to just be out of whack, to say the least. And even when it was a planet, they had to live in bubbles. But this is the armorer, hard at work. We haven't seen her in a while since the Book of Boba Fett. And he says, I'm going to Mandalore. Din's going back. Grogu's like, what'd you say? And Din says, so I may be forgiven for my transgressions. And we get a look at a destroyed Mandalorian city. So the Mandalorian cities, like I just said, were these gigantic bubbles almost. They were domes. And the cities were inside. And there were these huge cities. But they were in domes. And this is a destroyed dome, and this looks awesome. And I could look at this all day, so we're just going to keep going. Then you see this R2 unit, and it's actually in the N1 starfighter right here, as you can tell. So he goes back to Tatooine because he needs a droid to help him fly, I guess. I don't know why he's going to need a droid, but that's going to be very cool. He's going to have to go back to Pelimoto, that's this chick right here, back to Tatooine to get her droid because he's probably going to need help flying or something. I don't know, but that's going to be really cool. Back to Tatooine again for the 3rd season in a row. Then Pelimoto's saying, may the Force be with you. Grogu's looking at some fireworks, and this clearly looks like Navarro still. They're having some sort of party or something, and Din's getting the hell out of there. On March 1st. Yes, March 1st. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. When I watched this for the first time, my jaw literally detached from my face and hit the floor. This was absolutely wild. So Captain Carson Teva is talking right now, and he says there's something dangerous happening. But none of that, I honestly don't care in the slightest, because guess what planet this is? Guess what planet this is? Go ahead, tell me in the comments. Guess what planet this is? Please. I won't even tell you because I know you'll guess it. Then you got this guy right here. He says out there, and by the time it becomes big enough, you won't know what's going on. But this is the cloner guy from season 1, and I think he's in season 2, right? Yeah, he's in season 2 for sure. So this cloner guy who's in both first and second season, who was taking blood from Grogu and doing all those experiments on Grogu in season 1, here he is on what planet? Coruscant. Pretty epic. Let's keep going. So this is the guy who's talking to him. This guy right here. We've seen him before. He's the X-Wing pilot from season 2 who's in the X-Wing, and his friend there is actually Dave Filoni's character. But he's telling Din, or we can assume he's talking to Din, that by the time he sees the threat, it'll be too big and it'll be way too late. Then we see some cave, and this is supposed to be, let's rewind it a little bit here. This is supposed to be the caves of Mandalore, where Mando's supposed to go in and bathe so that he can get back to his Kree. We don't really know what's going on yet, and more will be explained in this third season, but these are definitely the caves of Mandalore. And you see Din Djarin right here. You can see his chest plate. That's definitely Din, picking up a very old Mandalorian helmet. You can tell it's very old by how much dust is on it, how long it's been buried, because Mandalore has fallen big time to the Empire. You see Grogu, and then you see this. And I mean, if Coruscant wasn't crazy enough, if all this stuff wasn't crazy enough yet, it gets even crazier, because Order 66. Looks to be another flashback of Order 66. We saw one in the Book of Boba Fett with Grogu when Luke was training with him, and he touches his head and he gets a flashback of Order 66, and we see these clones protecting Grogu, or we see these Jedi, protecting Grogu from these clone troopers who were coming in, the 501st. But we're seeing it again, and we're seeing it in a lot clearer version of it. And who is breaking through this door? Is it clones? Is it Anakin Skywalker? Is it Palpatine? Who is breaking through that door? Order 66. Insane. Then we get this. Now this, you might think, is Din Djarin and Grogu in the N1 starfighter, but it's not. It's not. And these are some TIE fighters, but they're not like the TIE fighters the ones that are straight up in the cool straight up starfighters from the Empire. These are more high advanced versions of the TIE fighter, very similar to the ones that you see in the sequel trilogy, like the Silencer that Kylo Ren rides. And they're chasing not the N1 starfighter. If you look very closely at this ship, you can tell that it's a Mandalorian spacecraft, and this is most likely going to be Bo-Katan. You might notice something watching this entire trailer. No Bo-Katan, but she might be in this ship right now. Let me try and rewind that so I can give you a better look at see, that's not the N1 starfighter right there. That's a Mandalorian starship. Then you get Din. Hang on, kid. Again, let's get that great. Yeah, that's not the N1. See, that's a Mandalorian starship. Actually, Bo-Katan's, we've seen it in The Mandalorian Season 2. So she's running from somebody. Then we get these bar scenes. Now, these bar scenes, I do believe, could be either on Navarro, of course, but it could be on Kijimi. Now, here's why. Now, I'm sure, what's Kijimi? Kijimi's from The Rise of Skywalker, the planet where Babu Frick is from, and where we find out that Poe Dameron was running spice from. Why do I think this is Kijimi? You have these battle droids in the back here, actually looking to be serviceable battle droids that you've only seen in the sequel era on Kijimi. Now, I know battle droids were everywhere, so they could be everywhere, but here's why I also think it's Kijimi. Let's see some Mandalorians real quick on Navarro, by the way. A huge fight breaks out on Navarro. And then you see Babu Frick. Again, if you didn't think it was cool enough because you saw Coruscant or you saw the Order 66 flashbacks, how about Babu frickin' Frick? I mean, and he's even got a friend. He's even got a friend who I feel we're going to get a pretty tragic death to, because Babu's all by himself in The Rise of Skywalker. But is this Kijimi? Is this Navarro? You guys tell me in the comments below, because I honestly don't know. The way they've edited this trailer into itself, they're trying to hide some things. They're trying to hide that Bo-Katan was flying away from those TIE fighters. They're trying to hide the fact that Din Djarin is on different planets. So I feel like they're trying to hide some things from us. Obviously, they're not going to show us all the things that happened in the season. We haven't even seen Moff Gideon in any trailers. Bo-Katan, barely. We haven't even seen a ton of characters in any of the trailers except for Din and Grogu, and now Babu Frick. And then you see Grogu fight this weird looking thing with 4 eyes, it looks like, and like glowing green eyes. Never seen this species before, I don't think. Tell me in the comments if you've seen it before. But it looks like, again, to be the caves of Mandalore, at least from what we saw earlier in the trailer. And Grogu kicks his ass. This is the way. Yes. 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 March 1st. Season 3 streaming March 1st on Disney+. I mean, if you weren't excited for The Mandalorian Season 3 before this trailer, how could you not be? Now, I know Season 2 set the bar so high with Bo-Katan, with Ahsoka Tano, with Luke Skywalker, with the return of Boba Fett for the first time in 40 years, and we're all sitting here like, how could they top that? How could they top that? How could they top that? Now, I don't think Season 3 of The Mandalorian will be a cameo fest, having Luke Skywalker, having Boba Fett, having characters like Ahsoka Tano, but it's going to be a very important character development season for Grogu, for Din Djarin, for Bo-Katan, and for Mandalore as a whole. All these Mandalorians spread across the galaxy, like Din Djarin says at the beginning of the trailer, like stars in the galaxy. And they're all going to be coming back together to fight alongside each other. But who are they fighting? And who is that New Republic pilot talking about? When you realize the danger, it'll be too late? There are still a lot of question marks coming into The Mandalorian Season 3, but that just makes me that much more excited. Are you excited for The Mandalorian Season 3? Were you not excited for The Mandalorian Season 3 and then saw this trailer and became extremely excited for The Mandalorian Season 3? Tell me in the comments below. Smash like if you like this video, hit subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video, and my pretty face will show up in the recommended feed of yours. If you want to tell me all about your thoughts about this trailer, come talk to me live tomorrow at 1 p.m. That's January 17th, Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because every Tuesday and Thursday on this channel, we go live at 1 p.m. to talk about everything Star Wars. New trailers that come out like this one, we're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. We're going to do all these fun things tomorrow with this trailer, but we also talk about new Star Wars news, what's going on with the future of Star Wars, and we just get hyped for Star Wars. So come on by that live stream tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and may the Force be with you. Always.